right, now today we are going to be talking about situation awareness because we live in a society that only cares about a certain group of people, and they trying to find ways to cover their evil and wicked doings by putting the blame on other people. Ain't no cotton picking well, it's their fault why certain people are in certain situations. You have to understand, as a black person, you are a prisoner of war. In the system of white supremacy, you have no friends. You look in the word friend, it has a simple three-letter word, it's called end. So the whole earth is a slave ship. Before you call this hate speech, European people in the audience, listen up. If you're not like this, I'm not talking to you. I'm only talking to a certain demographic of people in your community that holds racist beliefs. Okay, now let's get into this situation awareness thing like I was talking about. Now, black people, when you enter into a white community that is 90% white, be aware that a lot of them hold a lot of racist beliefs there, and they made it very clear by the population of their people. They don't want no colored people in their community. It's ingrained in them in their childhood. They are taught that by their forefathers, their grandfathers, and it's passed down. You might end up going missing there, unfortunately. Okay, now I'll give you an example. If you have two black people in a car driving through a sundown town, and you see a crowd of white people in a gas station, let's say like a biker gang, it's 40 of them, and they see you through your car window, and they looking at you all evil in a way that they want to harm you or anything, intimidate you. The first thing you should do is to assess the situation, judge and calculate ways how you're going to escape that in a peaceful manner and avoid eye contact, not because you're afraid of them, but eye contact you learn from is that they associate that with aggression. So think of a chimpanzee as an example. When you look at them with eye contact and they smile at you, it's the same exact thing as a chimpanzee. That's aggression right there. That smile right there is a way of them expressing their anger and frustration. Why is this Negro here in the first place? He should not even exist. Because in their heart, in their mind, they question God going to church. These black people should not even be on this earth, God. Why have you created these people? These people are baboons and monkeys. But they think that they're gods. They think that they are superior than you. Meaning, they can tell you what to do, you can't tell them what to do. And the one thing that you will notice about these hate groups is they need to be around a lot of people. If you have one racist white man walking across the street where you at, he may be intimidated by you in a way, but when there's more of them, they get more confident and they try to launch an attack against you. Because they feel like the more manpower they have, the more they can beat you and destroy you. The key note in this situation awareness is that when you see a group of white people, especially those holding rifles and all those types of weapons in their arsenal, and they wearing combat gear and so forth, be very careful of how you approach those people. And protesting is not going to solve the situation. You can't bring a knife into a gunfight. That's just logical common sense. Each decision that you make is life and death. And protesting, in my observation, is just an adult version of a temper tantrum. You can walk or march all you want to. Your feet are burning. Your lungs are burning. Your hands are soaring. Everything that you try to do, every word that comes out your mouth don't mean nothing to them. Okay? They took this country by power. What makes you think you're going to take this country by your voice? It don't work like that. And the one thing that white supremacy can teach you is they took this country by force and violence. So if you can't meet them with the same criteria as they have assessed and did for centuries, well, you have no match against them. You got to understand how the power structure works and how to disassemble it and attach it. Biological reasoning. because you can't be emotional and rule a nation. The one thing about black people is we get in our feelings and our emotions. No, white people are logical thinkers, and they always think of things not attached by their emotions. So therefore, those that are racist, when they harm you, they got no emotions attached to them. Because in their mind and their thoughts, this is just business as usual. These people are not even organized, and they have no community. They don't love each other like that. They fight one another for no reason, because it's self-hate that we cause on the generations. And they still believe that a light-skinned Negro is better than a dark-skinned Negro. So instead of us having to delete them for centuries like we've been doing, they just do it to each other, so it makes our job more easier. So it's more them and less than us, but we still are superior in them because we are united, basically. So we have more manpower than them when it comes financially. When it comes to white supremacy, they are united. They are a community. They have a father and a mother in the household. They got grandfathers in the household, teaching their kids discipline, teaching their kids about generational wealth. They have structure. They have means to get what they need. They don't have to beg for the government for a handout, basically. Now, you look at the poor white community, different story, but I ain't talking about them. But still, poor, rich, or middle class, they are networking, and they have more of a family to their cause. So if they need something, they can call their uncle, they can call whoever in their family to help bail them out for the most part. But for us black people, it's not always the case, unless you know somebody in a higher place to help you. But that's extremely rare in our case. The point is, I'm trying to say here, you can march all you want to, you can cry all you want to, until God comes back. I already have this thought in my mind. This country will never be for justice. This country was not made for us at all. This country always despised us. When the Constitution was made in the 1770s and 80s, it did not include us because we were still in slavery back then. So what makes you think these laws were meant for us? It wasn't meant for us. It was meant for so-called white people. And going back to the sundown town, especially, it's more dangerous in sundown town. If the whole town is white, if white people run the government, you see no single colored person in that government, in that town. You look in the police station, you enter there, all you see is white people. You best believe that white supremacy is in that establishment, in that government. They let you know very clear that this is a white town, white folks only, and we don't want you to be here at a certain time. If you're here at a certain time, you're not going to get back to your family at all. Because we know people in high places, we can get rid of you, bury you underneath the ground, and they will have no clue where you're at unless we tell them basically off of somebody else description or eyewitness report. They're going to be called like a missing 411 cold case. Let's say in an instance, they see you walking to your friend's house in a sundown town, they pull you over, they put you back behind that police van, and they call their buddies and text them whatever. Hey Johnny, I got a Negro over here. We saw him walking down the back road to see who his white girlfriend is. We gonna pick him up and see where he's gonna go, but we gonna make up something like he's smoking weed or whatever. Because there's a stereotype in the town, well, all black people smoke weed, all black people do crack, so we're gonna get some crack in his pocket. So while I'm patting him down, I can put the crack in his pocket, take him to the police station, and then when he says, I don't do that, and I tell the sergeant, look in his pockets and get the crack out the pocket, and they find it, and then they're gonna lock him up, and after a certain time, we wanna put him in a tree and lynch him, and make sure that his body's not found. Because I have plans, I have buddies in this area that will watch my back, they'll cover my sins, and we'll pray on Sunday about it. Because that's my routine, that's how we roll, it's a white supremacy. I only answer to white people, and that's how it flows. Then after that, I'll go back to my wife, drink some beer, some Kool-Aid, whatever, eat some Negro food, and I'll laugh about it, and I'll go back to work on Sunday after church. and talk to my pastor what I have done, and I know God's going to forgive me for my sins. Okay, now, black people, be aware of what's around you. There's not hate speech. Thank you for listening to those that are going to listen. We need to be aware that white supremacy is still the most powerful religion on this earth, and we're still in captivity. This country was never made for us at all. This country always had ways against us. We were brought here for our sins of our forefathers. We haven't wake up yet to have to smell the roses about that. I know the truth hurts, but it sets you free. And the white people that are listening, like I said before, if you white, I'm not talking to you. I only talking to those that have hatred in their heart, that think that way. If you take offense to that, well, that's on you. Maybe that's inside of you. I don't know. I'm only waking up my people. That's all I'm trying to do. Have a good day, and I'll see you.